Hey guys, what is up? Snowflake here, and welcome to episode 3 of Tinpot Tier List, where I give my useless opinions on things and get everything horrifically wrong. Hopefully today, I'll get them more right than wrong. There is no right and wrong, I'm just playing around. Last time out we did a ranking of about 100 plus video games. Maybe it was exactly 100. I'm not sure. And that took a really long time, so today I've decided to zero in on one of those games, which is Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout, which you may or may not have played. If you haven't played it, well, this may not be a video for you, but you can still tag along if you want. And I'm going to be rating each of the mini games in Fall Guys from S to F ranked. So yeah, I guess we might as well get this going. Fall Guys is a game I've played quite a bit, and I think apart from maybe one or two of these game modes, I have actually played all of these, so there won't be any I don't know ranks today. Even the ones I haven't played, I at least know what they are. So yeah, we'll start at the top left with Block Party, which if you've ever seen the game show Hole in the Wall, it's pretty much exactly the same as that. I think it's either actually going to be C or D. Put it in C. It's a decent game mode, it's just kind of easy, at least for me. So I think I'm going to put it in C. And the reason why easy makes it kind of a bad thing is that the idea of Fall Guys is it starts with 60 players, and then each round is supposed to narrow down the number of players, and Block Party very rarely narrows down any players. It's still decent fun, so I'll put it in C. I actually got Gate Crash, which I actually quite like. It's basically doors open and close, and you have to time your movements to try and get through them. And then right at the end, you have to slide down an incline and then jump as the door opens, and again, requires really good timing. I like those sort of levels, so I'm gonna put it A ranked. I think, yeah, it deserves to be A ranked. It's pretty good. DoorDash, it's like that Takeshi's Castle game where you have to try and run through the doors and guess which ones are made of paper and which ones are made of rock. Very luck based, so I'm not gonna put it A rank, even though I personally enjoy it, because I tend to always guess right. I'll put it in B, because it is kind of luck based, but still for me very enjoyable, and reminds me of a game show I used to watch a lot. Okay, Egg Scramble. So this is a team game. There's a bunch of eggs in the middle, and each team has to try and get as many eggs onto their side of the arena as possible. So yeah, it's pretty good, I think. You can steal from other teams, you can defend your own eggs. So there's a pretty good tactic to it. I'm going to put it in B. It's pretty good. Fall Ball. Basically the Fall Guys version of Rocket League. Now, I really like Rocket League, and hence I really like Fall Ball. There's 2 balls on the pitch at a time. It's like football. Both teams are trying to score in the other team's goals. There's also some hammers that can show up that can knock the ball either way, and yeah, it's just really fun. Especially when you're playing with your friends. So I'm going to put that in S tier. Don't know if anything's going to join it yet, but we'll see. Full Mountain, which is one of the final rounds, where all of the remaining players try to get up the mountain past a bunch of obstacles, and basically the first person to the top wins. It's okay, in my opinion. The downside to it is that the moment you actually get hit by an obstacle, you're pretty much lost, because someone else has stepped past that obstacle and is probably going to win. So I'll put it in C. Slime Climb. Slime Climb's pretty good. Again, it's another one where you have to climb upwards. You have to, on some obstacle course, you're climbing upwards. You're trying not to get knocked down off a hill. There's a bunch of slime that slowly rises from the bottom, so you have a limited amount of time. So you can't keep getting knocked down, and yeah, if you touch the slime, you die. And there's of course a race as well, so if you don't get up there quick enough, then you'll lose. I think it's an A rank. I think it's very solid and fun. I wish I was a little bit better at it sometimes, but yeah, it's definitely really fun. Fruit shoot. So this is climbing up an incline while massive fruit is being hurled at you, which you have to dodge. Not one of my favorites, this one, because I never seem to do well at it. And it seems, yeah, it's also very, very luck based, depending on how much fruit gets launched at your side. Depends on, well, that's what determines whether you win or don't win the games. So, I'm gonna drop this one in D. I really don't like fruit shoot. When I play with my friends, we groan whenever this one comes up, so yeah, not the best. Hit Parade. Which one was Hit Parade? Yeah, I think I remember. So Hit Parade is pretty much an obstacle course where things are trying to hit you and knock you off platforms. It's pretty fun. It's race themed. There's pendulums that can hit you. There's like swinging things that can hit you. There's little piles of donuts which you can kind of see in this picture that hit you. I don't know. I like the race themed ones, so I'm gonna give Hit Parade an A. Hexagon. Okay. Hexagon is a game where you stand on a platform, and when you stand on the platform, it can disappear after a short period of time. Or it will disappear after a short period of time, and you have to stay on the top as much as possible. And you keep dropping down platforms. You don't want to drop down platforms, but eventually you will. Until you're the last one standing. This is a final round. And I really, really like Hexagon. Again, I wish I was better at it. But as the final round, I think Hexagon is the most fun round to play. Okay, Hoarders. So Hoarders is a game where you're put in 3 teams, and each team is trying to keep as many balls on their side as possible. And at the end of the timer, whoever has the most balls on their side of the arena wins. I quite like this one, because some people have to attack, some people have to defend, and yeah, it's just pretty fun in my opinion. I'm going to give it an A. Then we've got Hoopsie Daisy, which is the team-based one, I believe. So basically, you're in, I think, 3 teams again. You're in an arena, and hoops can appear at any point at any part of the map. And if you jump through a hoop, then your team gets a certain number of points. This one's pretty good. Again, it's luck-based. It depends on where the hoops appear, and that determines really where your team wins. Obviously, it's better if your team spreads out and mans a certain area each. I think I'll give it a B. It's okay. Next is Jinxed, which is basically it, or Tag, if you've played one of those games, except you're in teams, and the idea is not to be the team that gets all of their team tagged, basically. So if you get tagged, you have to try and get people on the other team, otherwise you try and avoid it at all costs. The first team to get all of their players tagged is out. I like Jinx, actually. I'm going to put it in A ranked because I just like the concept of it. And yeah, the idea of being the last person on your team, desperately trying to avoid being captured by your opponents. I don't know, it's pretty fun to me. Jump Club. Okay, so if you've ever seen Total Wipeout, this is a thing that spins around and everyone has to jump over it. It's okay. I wouldn't say it's great. I mean, It's a fun game mode. It's just not got that much to it, apart from jumping. So yeah, I put it in B, and the same is going to be for Jump Showdown, which is the final round version of Jump Club, in which platforms slowly disappear as well, in addition to having spinny things. So I'm just going to put that in B as well. Perfect match. Basically, a fruit appears on the screen, and fruits are also appearing on the floor, and you have to stand on the fruit which matches the screen. It's basically a memory game, and for me, it's really, really easy. Hardly knocks anyone out, so I'm going to put it in the D rank. Even though it's one that I feel pretty much safe, guaranteed to win it. It's just not that great, to be honest. Okay, rock and roll. So teams of 3 once again, and each team tries to roll their rock down the hill past an obstacle course for all the other teams. The last team to push their rock to the end is out. It's okay, it's pretty good. I think I'm going to give it a C. Mainly because this highly depends on the teammates you get. Some teammates will just troll and try and run and stop the other team from pushing theirs down, even though it's a silly tactic that never really works. But yeah, when you're playing with friends, it can be pretty fun, and the concept of it is great. Just sometimes teammates can ruin it. Next is rollouts. So rollout, there are platforms which are rotating, and you have to move between them to try and stay upright. There's holes in it as well. There's going to be opponents trying to push you off. It's a pretty fun free for all. I have a friend that I play this with, that even when we're supposed to be teammates, he just tries to take everyone out, even you, no matter what. But yeah, rollout itself is really fun. I'm going to put it in the A rank. Okay, Dizzy Heights. So Dizzy Heights is basically a bunch of spinning platforms which you have to navigate your way across. Pretty fun. It's not a survival, it's just a race. So I'm going to put it with most of the other... Not really most of the other races. I'm going to put it in B or A. Go with B. Royal Fumble. Okay, so we haven't gone to Tail Tag yet. I think Royal Fumble is the final round version of Tail Tag. And I haven't played it, because mainly I don't get that far. Royal Fumble's pretty rare to find. I'm going to put it in D, because I don't really enjoy Tail Tag. So Royal Fumble, where there's only one tail, is going to be even more annoying to play. And I'll get onto my reasons for that when we get onto Tail Tag in just a sec. Then we have Seesaw, where basically you have to move across a bunch of seesaws, where you have to try and get to the top of each seesaw, then move to the next one, and so on. It's pretty luck-based and can be really annoying to play, since you have to rely on your opponents to stand on the other side to try and tilt it down for you. So, yeah, it's still pretty fun, but can be very annoying at times. I'll give it a B. Tail Tag is going to go in D. Tail Tag is game mode where half of the players start with a tail, and the other players are trying to steal the tail from ones that do have it. And there's a timer, and at the end of a round, everyone with a tail goes through, everyone with a tail goes out. Usually that leads to a tactic of people not doing anything until the last few seconds, and then just stealing a tail right at the end, which for me isn't really gameplay that should be encouraged. So I'm going to put Tail Tag in D rank. Team Tail Tag. Team Tail Tag actually I kind of like, because it employs team tactics, so it's basically whichever team has the least amount of tails at the end goes out. I think there's 4 teams as well, which makes it interesting. And the arena and the map, I think, is much better as well. So I'm actually going to put Team Tail Tag as a B rank, because I actually think Team Tail Tag is fun. And yeah, you can't just AFK and then get a tail at the end, because that's not how it works. Tiptoe. Okay, so Tiptoe is where there is a path from one end of the arena to the other. Some of the platforms will fall and take you with them. Some of the platforms are sturdy and you have to find the path from one end to the other. However, this usually leads to people just waiting for someone else to find the path for them. It is a race, so only the first few people to cross the finish line go through. So in the end, it just ends up with a lot of people just waiting around and not doing anything. So the concept is nice, so I'm gonna give it a C. Maybe a bit generous, but yeah. And the whirligig. Okay, so this is basically a bunch of spinning things, like mini versions of Full Mountain, Jump Showdown, Jump Club, where you have to jump over them. There's windmills. There's loads of spinning things that you have to dodge, hence why it's called the whirligig. I find it pretty fun, and so I'm going to give it an A rank. The next four, I believe, are the ones that have just been introduced in Season 2, in the medieval themed Fallout. So there's Egg Siege, which is actually the only one I haven't seen out of these ones. But I did have a quick read before I started the video. Seems very, very similar to, what's it called? Egg Scramble. But because I don't know what it is, I'm going to be safe and put it in the C rank. Maybe it deserves higher, but I'm putting it in C because I haven't played it yet. There's Hoopsie Legends, which is similar to Hoopsie Daisy. But it's not in teams, it is individual. And you have to get a certain number of points before the time runs out, or you lose, basically. So I don't think it's as fun as Hoopsie Daisy, so I'm just going to put it in the C rank. Night Fever is basically an obstacle course with some medieval elements. There's axes, there's pendulum style traps. I don't know if you can see that swinging log in the background. But yeah, it's a decent obstacle course. It's nothing that special, but I'm going to give it a B. And finally, there is Wall Guys, which is another. I don't want to call everything an obstacle course, but it's a race where you're trying to get over the walls before everyone else, but you have to move these platforms around so you can jump on them, reach to the top. And it relies a lot on other people moving platforms for you, and it can take a really long time for people to coordinate, and even then you're still technically racing against each other. I'm not really sure I like the mechanics of this one. It's between C and D. I'm gonna go with D, I think. I don't know. I haven't played Wall Guys myself. I'm just not a big fan of the mechanics of the game at all. It encourages collaboration in a game where you're supposed to be racing, fighting against each other. If it was a team game, I could sort of understand Wall Guys, and probably I'd rank it a lot higher, but it's not actually a team game, even though it's supposed to encourage collaboration. But yeah, that is it. That is my Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout Rounds tier list. If you have any differing opinions, you can feel free to let me know in the comments below. I'll leave a link to the tier list that I've used to make this video. I mean, you guys can probably see it on my screen, but I'm sure it'll be a lot easier if I just leave you a link. But yeah, that's going to be it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope I see you on the next one. Take care and peace.